Hello, welcome to episode 251 of Fergo and the Freak. I'm that bloke from Rugby, Ferguson. You can find me on Twitter at AndrewRLP. Join me as always is the still banned from Twitter League Freak. He can find me on Twitter at League Freak. He's not doing anything there though. He's doing something here though.
Yeah, I'm doing something here. Still banned. I get unbanned on Thursday evening I think it's about 8 o'clock or something like that. And I've had different scenarios run in my head, like, do I just say in my first tweet the thing that got me banned?
Yes.
But then it's not good for the podcast or the website and stuff if I get permanent banned. So I don't know. I'm tossing stuff up at the moment.
There we go.
Yeah.
Speaking of tossing, it's easy to do when you've got cleanly shaven balls.
Exactly. You know, you can really grab the base of that thing when you don't have pubes.
We're not restarting this. We're going with
No, we keep going. That's why I fucking love Manscaped.com. So if you go to Manscaped.com, you get the perfect package 3.0. You can shave everything. It's great. You can be smooth as hell. And, man, I had to self-censor even beyond what I was thinking then, Andrew. But, yeah, you get the perfect package 3.0. You get the microfiber boxer shorts, which I love. They're fantastic. You get the Lawnmower 3.0. It's waterproof. It's rechargeable. It's got a light on it. It's fantastic. You got different cutting lengths that you can click it to. It's got a little thing that you can do different lengths. Just fantastic. The ball toner, the ball preserver. There's so much involved in it, and the package it comes in is absolutely beautiful. So if you want to give it as a gift, go to manscaped.com and put in our exclusive code. It's just for our podcast listeners, and that code is NRL. You'll get 20% off and free shipping. You can get this all across the world. They also do a 30-day money-back guarantee, which it just shows how, confident they are in their products. Manscaped's been a really, really good sponsor for us. We really appreciate their support. So go and support the people that support your favourite podcast.
Exactly. And let's be honest, I didn't really give you much wriggle room there.
All right. I like tight spaces. Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Right. Well, James Hooper's making up some rumours today.
Oh, nice. He's
been busy.
He's really got his finger on the pulse of the game for somebody that nobody talks to, and he just writes bullshit.
We can confirm that. Let's be honest, he listens to the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because he said on here that just echoes something that we said a few episodes ago.
Yep.
That Beni Marshall is likely to stay in Sydney.
Yep.
And therefore he's turning down the offer with the Cowboys. We suggested that a few weeks ago. And now he's suggesting that the Sharks might be interested in him.
Yeah, man. I guess if you look at how Chad Townsend played, I would want somebody else there. Because Chad Townsend had a terrible 2020 season, like diabolically bad. And then Sean Johnson, I mean, what was it he did? He did his Achilles, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he's not going to play next year. And if he does, he's going to be tentative.
He's going to miss easily the first half of the season.
Yeah. So
and Benji's only looking for 1-year deals at this stage, and I think the way he plays would be really beneficial to the way the Sharks are playing at the moment, which is very ad lib sort of expansive footy, and they're one of the more attractive attacking teams out there at the moment.
Yeah, definitely.
The problem is he defends in the middle where their defense is pretty shit.
Yeah, that is a problem.
So
what do you do when Moylan at some point is going to be back for a week here or there? And Moylan, I think, would end up being at 5'8". So what do they do there? Or do you just tell Moylan, just sit on the sideline and watch the real footballers, you fucking fairy?
Yeah. I just say to Moylan, look, we need to be convinced that your hamstring's good. Yeah. So we're going to take you down to Canberra, do a few laps of the oval there. Don't worry about warming up. We want to see if this thing's really good. We need that hamstring to be cast iron.
And you're taking him to Canberra because it's cold as fuck?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
And then he walks out into the field. There, it's gone again. Ah, well, bugger. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Yeah, I support all of those moves.
Yeah. I don't know why Hooper's just throwing Cronulla up. I dare say it's just because Sean Johnson's injured.
Possibly. I agree with you. I think that he listens to the podcast. What would you say to him if you could say, he's listening to the podcast? What would your message to him be?
You owe us $10 for every minute you've listened to it.
Mm-hmm.
And we only accept cash, you cheapskate. I think that pretty much covers it.
I'd say keep blogging, you fucking bald bludger.
Yeah, yell louder next time you're on with Buzz, because I don't think you can hear.
Exactly. Got to keep him awake somehow.
Just keep yelling. Someone will care.
Mm.
Blake Green. He's set to turn his back on the Bulldogs.
Oh, the
and
poor
stick with
Bulldogs.
the Knights.
Wow, what is their rehab coach going to do now?
Is their rehab coach someone who's involved with lawn bowls?
Why?
Well, they've got an All Blacks coach and they're doing assistant coaching. You wouldn't have a rugby league official. I mean, they don't have a rugby league coach.
Do you reckon that's part of his, what was he, a performance coordinator or some bullshit?
Yeah,
when Blake
drama
Green
teacher.
Says, yeah, he's doing the cheerleading. If Blake Green says he wants to stay at Newcastle, and they say to this former All Blacks coach, what do you reckon? And he goes, yeah, let that dickhead stay in Newcastle. Okay. And he does it all by email, by the way.
Yeah. What other news is here? We're going through it pretty quick here.
Yeah, this is good.
Andrew McCulloch is set to rejoin the Broncos because that's what they need. Yeah,
well, anytime you can get a 30-something-year-old slow as fuck hooker, you got to do it.
Yeah.
It's not like the Broncos to go back to the well after it's fucking dried up, though, eh?
Dried up and filled in with rocks.
I know.
The Broncos have also chosen not to re-sign Isaac Luke. So where do you reckon he should go?
Where could we tell James Hooper to say he's going to? I'm going to say... that's a good question. Let's have a think here. Who could use some depth at hooker? I'm going to toss one up. Toss one up. I'm going to say Manly.
Yeah, Manly do need a hooker.
Yeah, just a bit of hooker depth.
Yeah. Yeah, they're the only Sydney club that needs some hooker depth.
Yeah.
Everyone else is fine.
Yeah.
So apparently because of all of this, Cowboys have now decided to keep Jake Clifford.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair enough.
The story that was initially happening was that Benji would go to the Cowboys, which we poo-pooed, and Hooper decided to agree with us.
Mm.
And in order to make that move work, the Cowboys were going to send Clifford to the Knights, and he was going to fill the gap that was left by Blake Green, who was going to the Bulldogs.
Yeah, because we liked Benji at the Cowboys, but it's not a Sydney club.
That's right.
That's the only problem. And you knew he wanted to stay in Sydney.
That's right. We knew he wasn't going to go anywhere.
By the way, I visited the West Tigers facilities the other day.
Oh, yes. The Rugby Union ground. How is it?
Yeah. You know what? I'm trying to think. Was it I can't remember seeing the Rugby Union ground because I was I was in the back streets, wherever the fuck it is. And it was like no one was there, hey? I walked up, I was like, am I in the wrong place? So I called up the number and I said, dude, I'm waiting here to pick up a fucking cardboard cutout. And they're like, oh yeah, I'll be out there. And a
cardboard cutout? What on earth of?
We'll have to find out.
Don't you dare let those interns sodomize it.
Oh, well, they'll have to stand in line.
Now, Andrew Johns has called on something. You ready for this?
Okay, hang on. My body is ready now.
Andrew Johns calls on emotionally drained Nathan Cleary to fix flaw in his game or take a rest.
What's the flaw?
Um, what he needs to do is have the ability to create opportunities for his outside and inside men off kick reception footy, said Johns.
Off kick reception. So does he mean little chips over the top?
I don't know, he says here, a lot of the young halves that have come through in the last 5 and 10 years where there is a lot of penalties blown, so that means they get set starts. So when they get penalties, pretty much 3-4 tackles in a row, it is all structured and everyone knows your play. So as a halfback, you don't have to organise that much. Origin football is known for a lack of penalties blown, as referees often let the players control the flow of the game and are reluctant to penalise every minor infringement. See that little dig there of the at the referees?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Help
himself.
Yeah. When they're kicking downfield and they are trading sets and everyone is tired, you've got to have the ability to tell your front rowers where to get to and your dummy half. Then while you're tired, you need to organise your back rows and your fullback and your centres and get plays on like that. I thought in the second half they got bogged down and they didn't play that way until Cody came on. That's the next development for Nathan, to be able to create under pressure, under fatigue, off kick reception footy.
Okay, I'm just going to take a guess here.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon the hooker is going to be behind the guy that's playing the ball.
Well, I think a good hooker would be, yes.
Yeah.
Typically.
That's a weird one. I wouldn't be taking psychological assessments from Andrew Johns, first of all. That'd be my first thing. And secondly, look, I think that there were some things you could definitely criticise Cleary for in that first game. But I think that it had a lot of mates in that New South Wales team. And, you know, it wasn't Cleary that was missing tackles that was leading to really, really fucking bad runaway tries for Queensland. You know, you could just as easily say that New South Wales didn't have the go forward, and what's a half supposed to do when they're not getting any go forward out of their forward pack. So I thought that a lot of the criticism of Cleary was a bit over the top. And look, I understand why he's easy to put the boot into. It's going to be interesting to see what Walker does, because Walker was really good when he came on, but he was playing very, very wide as well. And the game was pretty much over when he came on as well. That's another thing to think about. But I think that he will be a little bit of a better halves partner than I think Keary was for Cleary. I think that he's a sort of player that Cleary will be able to, do something with. I think Cleary and Keary are a little bit similar in some ways.
Well, they're both sevens.
Well, yeah, and I think that hurt them both.
Yeah, it did, really, because they're both the sort of sevens that need to have a ball runner at 6.
Mm.
And neither of them had that in each other.
Exactly. And so Walker's going to be fantastic in that role. And look, the New South Wales attack wasn't great overall. I'm not putting it down to one player. And their defence wasn't great either. Like, there was one point there where Payne Haas come on, and it was interesting because you could see some of the defensive problems that he'd picked up this year with the Broncos, in that, you know, instead of going up with the line, his instinct was to retreat and slightly slide a little bit, which is just getting you nowhere defensively. There was all sorts of problems I saw in that New South Wales team, but you know, we'll see if they can pull it together for game 2. I'm a lot more confident with the changes they've made. I'd like to see Crichton in the side though.
Yeah, we need to actually see genuine centres in the team. None of this. How come we've got the game's best 5'8", according to the Daily M, playing at centre?
It's a weird one. He's a big dude, and look, he there was a couple of good things he did, but there was a lot of bad things he did, and that's just because he's playing out of position.
Yeah, and he doesn't play centre all that much anymore.
No.
And this just seems to be a common thing where they just, I don't know why, they just persist with playing players out of position in the New South Wales team in Origin of late. And it works occasionally when Queensland's got a garbage side they're up against.
Mm.
When Queensland puts in a bit of effort, you know, they get found out very quickly.
Yeah, like in that game, it wasn't as though Queensland did anything super spectacular. They ground out a win, and I've said I think it's one of the best Queensland wins I've ever seen in my life. Like, I'm taking nothing away from it, but they did it by just outworking New South Wales, and they did it right across the park. So, I don't think you can blame one or two players, but I think that's the thing about the New South Wales performance. I kind of come away from that game thinking all of them have to look in the mirror at themselves, especially the forwards, though. I thought their forwards, Junior Paulo was very, very good early on. But outside of that, they didn't offer much up front.
Well, this is the thing. I'm just looking at some of the stats at the moment for, basic thing for forwards is you want go forward.
Mm-hmm.
Junior Paulo made 59 metres. Damien Cook made 78.
Mm-hmm.
Tyson Frizzell, 56 metres. Jake Trbojevic, 88 metres. Payne Haas, 61. Angus Crichton, 79. There's only Saifidi and Cordner made over 100 metres.
Yeah.
In the forward pack. Luke Keary made 103 metres, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
And he's not even big.
No. I mean, he might have been the smallest player on the field.
Yeah.
So, I think that up front they were very, very ordinary, and, that hurt everything else. But there really was. There was only a couple of players in there. I thought Tedesco was fantastic. I saw a lot of criticism about him. I don't know what more he was supposed to do.
He ran for 300 metres.
Yeah. And, he made... There were so many tackles he went into where he was either hit high or he almost broke the tackle. And, there's not much more you could ask out of him. So I thought he was pretty good. I thought Addo-Carr did a pretty good job. But, yeah, New South Wales, they really have to take a look at themselves and, do they want it? Because Queensland won it. And I'm very big on the talented team wins the game. But damn, you look at that game, I'm willing to say New South Wales were the far more talented team, but Queensland just wanted it more. So It was a great win by them. They should be so proud.
And the other thing too is it's pretty clear that Queensland had a game plan of running at Gutherson.
Yeah.
Whiten did half as much work in defence, or even less than half as much work in defence than Gutherson did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
To Gutherson's credit, he defended better overall than Whiten did, but neither of them are centres anymore.
No.
They shouldn't be there.
No, it's doing them a disservice.
Yeah. I don't even know why they don't think about putting maybe one second row there, kind of similar to what Queensland did with Capewell.
Yeah, I mean, Capewell played maybe the best game I've ever seen him play easily. Maybe the game of his life. And if I'm Queensland, the last thing I want to see New South Wales do is run Stephen Crichton out there.
Exactly. Someone who's got the size and power and speed, to get around the outside defence of the Maroons. It's a fucking no-brainer. I don't know why they went with that and put a 5'8" and a fullback at centre.
And the other thing is too, and he's just played in the grand final, so it's not like he hasn't got some experience in big games.
Yeah.
And on top of that, his form has been outstanding.
It just beggars belief, man. I don't know what they were thinking.
Yeah, I don't get it. It feels like, when New South Wales went through a bit of a period of time where they would pick so many players out of position, and you heard sort of things out of New South Wales types where they'd say, well, he's an origin player. And it's like, shut up with all that shit. Just pick the best players in the best position.
Yeah. One thing I was going to ask you too about origin, one game in particular. Cohen Hess.
Yeah. He didn't really stand out at all to me. I remember at one point watching the game, and I didn't watch it super, super closely like I normally do. But I remember seeing him out there and thinking, man, I can't believe Cohen Hess is playing in an Origin game in 2020. He didn't really do much that I saw from him anyway.
15 tackles, 31 metres, 5 runs. He was there for almost a full half.
Holy crap! Wow.
He was doing nothing in attack and nothing in defence.
Wow, that's shocking. Holy crap!
Getting carried, and the fact that they were playing with basically when he was on the field, they were basically 12 men on the field.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
Man.
Yeah, I remember. I really do. I remember thinking this is crazy that Cohen Hess is out there, and that's the last time I really thought of him until you just mentioned him. Then
it's so disappointing because we saw him when he first came on the scene. He was an animal.
Yep, Dane Carlaw 2.0.
Yeah, he's just fallen off a cliff with form.
Yeah,
but there we go. Boy Cordner looks like he's gone for the rest of the Origin series.
Yeah, that's weird how
it's the right decision.
Yeah, the right decision, definitely. It's weird how it's turned into a bit of a, Boyd Cordner's health has turned into something that some people in the media are pretty happy to, beat their chest about. It's weird, but it's good for him that they're sitting him out now, and I wonder what happens for him here. Like, could we see him retire from the game?
I would kind of urge him to, given how many head knocks he's had, and he seems to be getting knocked out more easily now.
Yeah,
and I think that's the concern, and it's something he needs to look at and say, you know what, do I really need to keep playing? He's achieved everything you possibly can as a player. I think he should really think about, calling time on his career, just for his own health more than anything.
Yeah,
he's got nothing left to prove. He's done it all. So, it's ultimately up to him. Some players get over it, others don't. I just think he's copped quite a few knocks, and it seems that he gets. You see him on the field, and you get worried that it's just going to happen again. And more often than not, nowadays, it does happen again. And I think that's the concern.
Yeah, I can understand being fully fit, feeling strong. If he feels within himself he's getting over these head knocks quickly, like he's not having any after effects. I haven't read anything about him having after effects, but if he's got no after effects, you sort of physically feel like, I'm ready to go. Why would I stop? But when you start getting a bit of a tap on the head, and you end up face first in the dirt, that's when, and we've seen it happen to so many players, and we've called it, he's got a glass jaw now and stuff like that. We know that, how devastating it can be, especially compounding one head knock after another. Having a good long off season might help him, but it just takes another head knock, and then you'd think that he would definitely retire if he got another concussion, but why not just retire now? And as you say, he's done everything. Yeah.
I think that'd be the smart thing to do. But, we'll see what happens there. Just see what other news there was. Interesting one. The Vicar of Dibley has been named to the top sports administration role in New Zealand. Have you heard this?
Well,
she will replace long-serving Sport New Zealand Chief Executive Peter Miskimmin, who announced in August that he will be leaving the organisation he's led since 2008. How does this person keep getting gigs despite leaving a trail of utter destruction behind her?
Yeah, it's literally destruction. Like, the Bulldogs are probably 2 or 3 years away from being out of the Raylene Castle destruction zone,
Yeah. And then Rugby Australia.
Oh, she devastated Rugby Union in Australia. She killed it. It was great.
Now she's going to Sport New Zealand.
Yeah. How do you do that?
She just keeps going to the next step up. She's like a fucking cyclone.
What does she say in an interview, though? Like, when they say, tell us about your last job, and she says, remember when Australia used to play rugby union? Well, they don't now.
Yeah, I should have. I should remember back when Australia used to win the Bledisloe Cup.
Yeah.
You can thank me for that not happening for you anymore.
Yeah. Remember the Canterbury Bulldogs? No, you can't. Yeah, that was me.
Yeah. See, everything I've done has been trying to make sure that the Warriors don't come last, is make sure that the All Blacks win the Bledisloe all the time. I'm just a Kiwi.
Yeah, Kiwi through and through. Outrageous. It's outrageous how people can fail upwards, hey?
It's literally got me beat. I don't know how she does it.
And she'll be on, she's on good money. She'll be on good government money.
Yeah.
And what does she have to do in that role to fail? That's one of those roles where, those government jobs where it's like, there's not really a marker for failure.
It's got me beat. I would have thought that being successful was important to being promoted, or to even being hired.
At least be mediocre.
Yeah. So I think, this is great news for rugby union in Australia anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Not only have they got her off the books, but now she's over there and she's going to be white-handing all sport in New Zealand.
Yeah, they're going to even lose the America's Cup now, I bet.
Well, I'm sure one of us will be tuned into that with bated breath to see what happens.
Yeah, can't wait. Don't like the new boats.
Don't like the new boats with the outboards on them?
Yeah, I really don't like them. I think that the boats, they should be racing boats. They shouldn't be racing fucking wings that glide across the water barely,
Tinnies. Why doesn't the America's Cup be just raced by a couple of blokes in tinnies?
That'd be pretty cool, hey?
And no outboards either, no sails. They just got one oar.
Well, I was looking at the makeup. I was actually watching YouTube videos of all of the challenges, because if you don't know about the America's Cup, the challenges all face off in the, what's it called? There's a series. It might be called the Louis Vuitton Cup or something. And then they face off against the holder of the America's Cup, which is Team New Zealand at the moment. And I was looking at all of the boats that were the challenges, a lot of different interesting designs, but the boats are they're literally aeroplane wings that sit out of the water. It's kind of incredible. They've got, listen to me go. No one else gives a shit, Andrew. Let's just move on. I'm sorry, I started going down a rabbit hole and I realized no one gives a shit.
I was just sitting back going, yeah, this is Freaky's time to talk about boating.
I'm trying to think, the last time I was on a boat that somebody owned, I was fucking 11. You don't want to get any sailing advice from me.
When it comes to boats, you're the man.
Nah, I'm like even 3 steps below Gilligan would have been.
Now, I'm just having a look around here for a bit more news that's not to do with boats.
How about Josh Mansour being told by the Panthers so late in the year that services aren't required? It's
let's be honest,
sad.
It was always going to happen,
mm-hmm.
But obviously Ivan fell asleep at the wheel.
He was tired.
He does get tired.
Yeah.
So I'll cut him a bit of slack there. It was always going to happen that Mansour was not going to be kept by Penrith. They've got too many talented young backs to be able to keep a experienced and probably well-paid winger on the books.
Yeah,
so it made sense that they cut him. He'll work out at any club he wants to go to.
Would you take him at the Tigers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we had Robert fucking Jennings, so I don't think Josh Mansour would be a downgrade from that.
Yeah, he's got good footy in him. There's no doubt about that. But it's the beauty of the Panthers. They can look fucking Staines and O will be on the clock because there'll be another young bloke that'll be, turning up next year, and we don't even know his name, and he'll be probably get a game here and there and score 15 tries.
That's just what happens.
Yep.
Now, Another bit of story here is Ben Barber made a secret rugby league return on the weekend for Walgett.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, apparently the NRL didn't know about it. So Buzz is pretty happy, pretty chuffed with himself over that one.
Yeah. It's just another sign that rugby league's fallen apart to Buzz, I guess.
Yeah, he's happy with that.
Wonder what Jared Hayne's doing at the moment.
Probably still going to court, isn't he?
I haven't heard about him going to court for a while, though.
It's an interesting one. I don't know what he's been doing.
Like, if I was Jared Hayne, I would definitely be playing rugby league somewhere.
I mean, if Ben Barber can find a gig somewhere, why doesn't Jared Hayne go over to bloody England and play over there?
Maybe he's not allowed to leave Australia, hey?
I'm sure he could if he wanted to.
I would go to France. I wouldn't go to England.
Exactly. Buzz has also revealed that he thinks that John Morris looks like he will not be getting his contract extended at the Sharks.
You had a bit to say about this on Twitter.
Yeah, I think that while what's happened with the Sharks in the past is still reasonably fresh in people's minds, it was only a few years ago with Shane Flanagan and the Asada stuff and the salary cap stuff and his email stuff and working when he wasn't supposed to and all that sort of gear, and then getting sacked. I thought John Morris had done everything right to steer the club away from those days in every possible way. He brought in a bunch of new young talent, which Flanagan had been reluctant to do in his whole time there. He got them playing exciting attacking football, which Flanagan certainly didn't have them doing. He'd still kept them in the finals. He wasn't as successful as Flanagan had been, but there was also none of the off-field drama that Flanagan brought to the club.
Exactly. They didn't break the salary cap or put in place a systematic use of peptides and stuff like that.
Yeah, and the only incident that they had come up there was when one player went rogue to use drugs, and that was Bronson Cherry. And the club rightfully just said, they just cut him loose, and they did all the right things you got to do to support them, but they didn't try and fight to keep anything like that. They went, yeah, he's done the wrong thing, he's got to own it, and they handled that the right way. And when you consider the way he got into the job was because Flanagan got sacked, and it was as the 29 preseason was almost about to start.
Yeah.
He had no easing into that role.
No, he took over a very thankless, going nowhere role. And considering they've been in the finals, it's been a miracle. Like, I think if had the Panthers not had the ridiculous regular season that they had, I reckon there's a really good case that John Morris was coach of the year.
I don't know how he didn't get it last year, to be honest, but yeah, he would have been very close. I think what he's done there, and some of the talent he's brought through. The Sharks haven't had someone bring through young talent like that since John Lang was there.
Yeah.
It's just, it's got me baffled as to why they've decided that he's no good. I can understand a lot of fans that were suggesting that they don't see Morris being the sort of coach that's going to bring them another premiership. And you know what? I agree with that. I don't think he's going to bring them another premiership. But I also don't think that you get rid of a coach for that reason. You only get rid of a coach if there's someone better available to hire. And I don't think that at the moment there is another coach that's that much better than John Morris that's available for that club to hire.
Yeah, I agree. And like, I look at the lineup that they do have, and there are some problems with it, and he has still got some, hangover players. I mean, you look at Moylan for one. He's still dealing. Yeah. Woods. Yep.
Yeah, those three there are three huge players that have taken up big chunks of the cap. And then you throw in Sean Johnson on top of that, who came to the club just before Morris became coach. That's a lot of salary cap tied up in four players.
Yeah, and like, what more is he supposed to do? What would have been the pass mark for him to get an extension? Did he need to finish in the top six? Like, I don't know. they have never had a premiership, even close to a premiership, contender while he's been there. So, and he's kept them in the finals. I just don't know what they expected out of him with the situation that he's been put into. You got to wonder what they're searching for from this, whoever the new coach is going to be, because they'd want to be pretty bloody good. They can't come in and just do the same job. They've got to do way, way better. And I agree with you. Like, what coaches are there that can, honestly, you could say, oh, yeah, that's an upgrade. There's, maybe
it's being rumoured that
Tuvi's going to coach him.
It's being rumoured that Paul Green is going to be the one to take over from him. And I think Paul Green got shown up a bit when Jonathan Thurston retired.
Yeah, and like he had that problem where he let his lineup degrade, and he didn't do anything about it until it was way too late.
Yeah, and got sacked.
Yeah,
I don't know if you should be hiring a coach who's been sacked for poor performance to replace a coach who has just been in the finals for 2 straight years and has never ever been coach of a club that hasn't been in the finals. And it's a team that's in transition too. Like, yeah, he's got a bit of an aging forward pack there at the moment, but he's already got some young props coming through to replace the ones that are aging. He's done that really well. He's got some young halves coming in to replace the halves he's got there when that happens. He's already brought in a young fullback to replace Valentine Holmes when he left.
Mm-hmm.
Ticking all the boxes.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. I don't know what more he's supposed to do. The only thing I can think of is attracting big names to the club. That's the only thing I can think. And,
well, the other thing that's happened too is
the salary cap.
Yeah. Another thing he's managed to do there too is the club's managed to hold on to, a front of jumper sponsor since he's been there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's despite the fact they've not even been able to play out of their own home ground this year.
Yep.
And won't be there next year either. It's not like he's had an easy time of it and he's underperformed because, despite having a really good squad. He had a poorer squad this year and last year than the Dragons.
Oh, by miles.
And he's outperformed them both times.
Yeah.
And he's an experienced coach compared to Paul McGregor. Outperformed him by a mile. You could probably even argue that he had a poorer squad than what Anthony Seibold had at Broncos this year and last year.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, he did. Definitely.
Shut on them.
I wonder what he will do with his coaching career. If the Sharks do get rid of him, I wonder where he will end up, because I would suggest he will get another shot at it. I think that a lot of the coaches are going to be locked in pretty soon. I wonder where the next role will open up. I wonder if it's going to be at Manly with Des Hasler. I think he's on the clock.
I wouldn't be surprised if Manly are quietly looking at Jeff Tuvey again.
You know what? Man, I was shocked when they got rid of Tuvey the first time. It was kind of the same situation with Morris. It's like, why are they getting rid of Tuvey? Like, what do they want him to be doing that he's not doing?
Yeah, and it's not like they've gone above and beyond performance since getting rid of Tuvey with by bringing back Hasler.
Yeah, and this season especially, like last season, Hasler did really well, and it was like, wow, who would have thought? This season was diabolical for the Seagulls.
It was back to Trent Barrett style coaching.
Yeah, and that's saying something. And his career, Trent Barrett's career's over. No one in their right mind would sign him as a coach.
No. So, yeah, I'd like to see what happens with John Morris. He's definitely a very, very good assistant coach, and he's proven that he can be a very good head coach.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'd like to see him in another top job somewhere.
Imagine if he took over the Storm when Bellamy retired. You know who'd be really good at the Storm is Jeff Tuvey.
Yeah, he'd have the same. He sort of come out of the same mold as Bellamy. Just won't take poor performances.
Mm-hmm. Man, that would be scary if Tuvey ended up there after Bellamy.
Oh man, love to see it.
I just want to see somebody that is literally a quarter the size of Jason Riles grabbing his headset and yelling into it.
Especially with that coarse voice that he has.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, while we're on the Storm,
Yep.
Cameron Smith is now officially off contract.
Oh, yeah.
So we are now in what I call the Smith trolling Hooper zone.
100%. You know what? Because he's got when's his book come out?
I think it's available very soon.
Yeah. If he's going to retire, I feel like he will retire at the book launch, which is fine. He has earned it. But if he doesn't retire at the book launch, I don't think he's going to retire. And I hope he doesn't. I really hope he doesn't. I love watching him play.
I honestly don't think he's going to. I think he's going to do one more year.
I hope so.
Purely because I think the club, more than him, Bellamy more than him, want him to be able to say goodbye to his fans in Melbourne, like actual playing in Melbourne. I think that's why they'd probably say, let's go one more time round.
Yeah. What do you think about players, say, and I don't think this is going to apply to the Storm and Cameron Smith, but what do you think of, in a situation like that, a player coming back for one game the following year and retiring in front of their home fans?
Fine by me.
Yeah, same here.
Because he'd just give you match payments.
Yeah.
And that will come out of the cap, but it'll just be one match payment. Yeah. It could be a hefty one, who knows? You give him $100,000 just for one game, and there's still only $100,000 out of the cap, $100,000 out of the cap instead of, $800,000 or $900,000, I guess.
Yeah, a couple of Harvey Norman vouchers, fucking giant ring.
New boat.
Boat, yeah, boat.
Extension on the house.
Yeah, and then maybe sign him up to a giant fucking ambassadorial role afterwards. Oh, wait, that's against the cap, that part.
You only do those on the quiet.
Oh, you don't announce it in the media conference?
No, only dickheads do that.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, okay. That's the difference. That's the difference between smart, intelligent operators and spuds.
You can't argue with the salary cap auditors about that after the fact, though?
Well, you can. I mean, what would they know?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, other than the salary cap, what would they know about the salary cap?
Yeah. I don't know. I do think it's a loophole that nobody has looked at before, and only a really, really smart person with lots and lots of brain, they would look at that.
Well,
a thunker.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's it. Justin is clevers. He's got one of the best clevers there is.
He has Wikipedia bookmarked.
Oh yeah. He's got all sorts of smarts going on.
Hell yeah.
Can't wait for his next big ploy. He's probably going to sit there and sulk about Josh Addo-Carr not coming to the club. We had you short.
That reminds me that there was a thing I saw during the week where the West Tigers were saying if Josh Addo-Carr leaves the Storm, he has to play for the West Tigers. It's like, I thought to myself, shut the fuck up. No one says to you, cunts.
Yeah, that kind of behaviour kind of got arseholed in about 1971, Potato.
Yeah. Also, if you're looking to attract talent to your club, kind of goes against the grain when you start threatening players before they even get there.
Yeah,
fuck.
It's not known to be a good, technique to coerce people to come and do what you want. You can't sort of force Stockholm syndrome on people.
Yeah, like you'll play for us or else.
Exactly.
It doesn't really work. It's not a good recruitment tool.
No, he's a bit docile. When you've got a bloke who doesn't know whether he was sacked or whether he walked from his previous job, you can't really be expecting too much from him.
It's a really, really easy thing to get confused with.
Yeah. Did I hand in a resignation or did they sack me? I can't remember. I'm sure I resigned. I'd never get sacked. Never. Surely not. Yeah. What else has been going on? I was going to say, apparently some fans have been a bit pissed off that Nofaluma hasn't been picked in the Origin side.
Yeah, look.
It's only salty West Tigers fans, so they don't really matter.
Oh, Jesus, Andrew.
I don't. I don't fall in that category. I don't see why Nuffaluma should be picked in the Origin side.
I tell you what, between saying that and what you're saying about the Sharks fans earlier, Jesus.
Mm. I'd like to hear someone convince me as to why David Nofoaluma should be in the State of Origin side over Tupou and Addo-Carr.
Yeah. He kind of has to bide his time, doesn't he?
I just don't think that he's that level. He's brilliant at club level, but some players just are not the next level above that. Like Mitch Orbison, he's never going to be a State of Origin player. But yeah, you'll get 300 club games out of him, and he'll turn out a solid performance every single week. Some players are just like that.
So can I start writing the article now? Right? Rugby League historian says David Nofoaluma is a poor man's Scott Petherbridge.
No, he's a rich man, Scott Petherbridge.
Rich man, Scott Petherbridge. Isn't that Robbie Beckett?
He's a financially stable man's Scott Petherbridge.
He's a fiscally responsible.
A fiscally responsible man's Jeff Daniela.
Oh, shit. Oh, that's funny. Oh, shit. That's great.
He's above Petherbridge.
Yeah.
But he's not. I just don't think that he is an Origin level player.
Look, it's difficult I feel as though when you're playing in a bad team and you're a winger and you're scoring a lot of points, it's difficult to know whether you really are a really good winger or whether you're just, somebody's got to score the tries at some point, No,
look, there's a lot of stuff he does that's really good, okay. But the problem with Nofoaluma is he's not tall, okay, which is a big thing you need in Origin. You need to be able to, if you don't have that height to jump up and catch kicks for the corners and stuff like Tupou can better than nearly anyone, then you need to have blistering speed.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have that either.
Yeah.
He's the sort of player that's tough to tackle, which is pretty handy when you've got kick returns that need to be done, or if you need someone to do a quick few dummy half runs, that sort of thing. But you need a bit more than that at the Origin level, in my view. And I think he's just, through no fault of his own, he just doesn't have that little bit of extra X factor that's required. That's just me.
That's fair enough. Like, I've got no problems with them. Like, the thing, I guess I wasn't looking at the Origin game and thinking, they need to change the wingers. Like, that didn't sort of stand out for me.
Well, that's right. If your team wins and it's thrown away 7 or 8 tries because you've got some absolute klutz on the wing who keeps dropping the fucking ball all the time, you replace the winger. But when you're being overpowered through the middle, and your forwards are only running for 50 or 60 metres and being outrun by a scrawny 5'8", I don't think your wingers are the things you need to be looking at.
Yeah. The only time you really desperately need to drop a winger is when fucking Martin Lang runs them down.
Exactly. Or Scott Sattler.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
An old Scott Sattler.
Yeah, Scott Sattler, like towards the end of his career.
Yeah. Just before the West Tigers reinvigorated it.
Yeah, it's not even. How long did he play for the West Tigers for? Like 3 seasons? 2 seasons?
Felt like a decade.
We should try and get Scott Sattler on the podcast. Hey, I reckon he'd come on.
Oh, he would. No, he is a good bloke.
Yeah.
He'd give it to me both barrels for saying that. To be honest, I didn't mind Scott Sattler. I thought he was pretty handy. He's one of those players who you could you could build a forward pack around. Another one of those players who's just an absolute tradesman.
You know what? He's like, who's that player that when Cleary went to the West Tigers and he signed?
Madaleno?
No. He's like a utility lock sort of player.
Chris McQueen.
No.
Elijah Taylor.
That's it. Scott Sattler is like the player you would hope that Elijah Taylor was going to be in that signing, but never, ever was.
Yeah. No, he was. We got him just before he got too far past 30. When he's still at his peak.
Yeah.
What else was there? Shane Watson retired. We're going to other sport now. What the fuck not?
I think we talked about Shane Watson the other day. We made the fucking go into the thing joke about Shane Watson retiring the other day, huh?
Oh, okay. Well, there's not much was going on there.
Yeah. The other thing that happened was the Super League season just completely collapsed in on itself. I don't know if we've talked about that too much.
Oh, yeah, they decided that they're just going to wrap the season up. Yeah. It was over the weekend, and now they're going into the finals. They're going to have a top 6, I think it was.
I didn't pay attention because I just saw that their season had ended and the team started like packing it in because the furlough scheme had been extended, and so they all started packing it in, and Super League said, well, we better just start the finals now, and big news all across small towns in northern England, no doubt.
Yeah, so this Thursday we've got Warrington taking on Hull FC.
Ooh.
And then on Friday, Catalan play Leeds.
It's nice of them to let the Catalan Dragons play.
Yeah. I think given that Salford were probably going to be a chance of making the finals, until they had 3 wins knocked out of their percentage. Probably felt a bit rude not to have Catalan in there, given they had a better win percentage than nearly every other team in the comp bar, about 3 or 4.
It'd be hilarious if the Catalan Dragons won it all, hey?
It'd be so glorious.
Take the trophy back to France.
It'd be good is if Catalan play Warrington in the grand final.
Yeah, so they're guaranteed the win.
Yeah, well, not just guaranteed the win, but there's no Leeds, there's no Wigan, there's no St Helens.
I would like who else?
That'd actually give Super League something worth watching for the first time in 35 years.
I would like to see Catalan play. Well, I mean, St Helens love to lose a grand final too. The funny one for me would be to see Catalan beat St Helens because I know a lot of St Helens supporters. So I would give that to them, especially with James Graham there. James Graham has so many runners-up medals,
especially at Saints.
Yeah, it's incredible how many runners-up medals he's got there at St Helens.
He needs one more just to finish the collection, I think, doesn't he, before he retires?
So we can see Fat Prince Harry ride into the sunset.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. So they're looking at wrapping that up pretty quick. Semi-finals will be on next week, and grand final on the 27th of November.
Yeah, it's going to be a really, really big event. They're playing it in Hull. That'll be massive, huge.
So
free pizzas
all around. What would they put on a pizza in Hull?
Fucking alcohol.
Yeah, I was just thinking it'd be a beer batter.
Yeah, it's just beer battered base. That's all it'll be.
And cheese.
And a nice warm beer on top.
That's pretty much it. It'll just be a soggy coaster, really, won't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Hey, it was funny the other day seeing some of the Toronto Wolfpack fans learning about the Stobart deal.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, they were like, hang on, what? This has happened before? It's like, no, it was worse.
Much worse.
Oh, shit.
That was kind of a depressing yet funny look back at the past for Super League, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, I actually put in my website because I posted the link on the pod. Well, the interns did because I'm not allowed to post on Twitter, by the way. But the interns put a link from my website on the podcasting thing on the podcasting Twitter account, and it was I think the article was titled "My Kingdom for a thousand stickers." Um,
That's the
and
one.
but when I searched for it, I put in Stobart on my website, and 3 articles come up, and there was like 2 of them were about directly the Stobart deal, and one was that one of their trucks crashed was the picture, and the other one was at the end of the Stobart deal, and it was one of their trucks on fire.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, it really was. It was. It's funny looking back at some of the things you've done in the past and laughing at them, being like, "Oh shit."
Now, I was thinking about this whole English Rugby League being an absolute basket case. I'm wondering, should they have sold themselves to Super League back in '96, or to News Limited, I should say, and become Super League? Should they have done that, or should they have, stuck to the course they were on, which admittedly wasn't that great,
Yeah.
but when you look at what they did with what happened with News Limited, they didn't really do anything brilliant with it. Would they have been better to just staying the course of what they were doing in 1995?
You know what? I think they just would be pretty much where they are now, but they wouldn't have wasted all the money. So I don't think there'd be any advantage of them not doing like taking the money, but I just think all the money wouldn't have been pissed away. I think that'd be the only difference. Like they like where they're at. They barely tolerate the Catalan Dragons. That's pretty clear. It's the same thing with the London Broncos. They kind of don't like the London Broncos even. So I think they'd just be where they are. They'll be there in 40 years' time, except no one will give a shit. They'll all be fucking amateur players probably playing rugby union by then. I'm so fucking out on English rugby league right now. I'm done with it. Like I used to talk about trying to fix it and stuff. It's fucked. It's done.
I think what I'm going to do next year
Yeah.
is talk mostly just about Championship
Yeah.
and League One.
Yeah, because at least they are what they are. They're not pretending to be some fucking high-minded, idealistic European fucking competition. It's like, yeah, we're an English competition, and we occasionally allow other teams from other places in, and
Well, they also don't try and kick them out as frequently as Super League does.
True.
Like they've got Toulouse, they had Toronto for a few years.
Yeah.
They had London for a while. They've had teams from Wales, quite a few of them.
Yeah, they're far more sustainable at that level.
Mm.
Like, be interesting to see. How we've talked about if you took the New South Wales and Queensland Cup over here, and Queensland Cup already has a PNG team. If you get teams from New Zealand and Fiji and Tonga and stuff into those competitions, all of a sudden you're starting to look at a competition that, you could sell international sponsorship for and would start generating a nice amount of money for itself. Maybe the championship teams can look at doing that.
I think it's something they really do need to look at.
Mm.
I think the sooner the RFL says, right, you know what, we need to distance ourselves from the Super League and just go, let's do this on our own.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that would work a treat.
Yeah.
Have 2 competitions, both the same number of teams in them. Don't have 10 teams in League One and 16 or whatever in Championship, whatever the hell the makeup is. I just have them both the same.
Yeah.
And try and get some new expansion teams in there.
Yeah, make it all financially sustainable.
Yeah.
Semi-professional, and very, very at a low level semi-professionalism, not like what they've got in Super League right now, but it can't be worse than what Super League's doing, that's for sure.
Exactly. And don't even bother with trying to get a TV rights deal, because you're not going to get them for the second-tier competitions and the like. But try and link up with a telco and get a live streaming deal going.
Well, remember when the Australian Basketball League started streaming games on Twitch?
Mm-hmm.
That was interesting. I always thought that was a little foot in the water, a toe in the water sort of moment for sport. And I'm sure that a lot of people took a look at that maybe didn't say anything publicly, but they all wanted to see the numbers and made some phone calls and things like that. Be interesting to see if, the championship did something like that. It's interesting to think of where something like that could be heading, but Super League's done. I just don't care about Super League. It's fuck. What are they doing? Oh, a little town's going to win this year. Fan-fucking-tastic. Let's all have a fucking parade and catch COVID.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I know I sound very pessimistic, but I don't care.
It's just happened too often to be getting hopeful anymore.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like there's no light at the end of the tunnel now. There's nothing to grab onto. When these teams have decided they don't want to do it, why should I care?
Exactly.
That's how I feel about it anyway.
Now, have we had any emails?
Yeah, we did. Actually.
Oh.
Yeah. Let me.
And so begins the long chat as the email opens up.
Fuck you.
That's the laptop opening.
Come on, I didn't want to go to that website. I wanted to go.
Just so people don't know, Freaky's modem actually has a crank handle on the front of it.
Mm.
You've got to get it up to about 35 kph.
I tell you what, I practice cranking this thing all night too.
That's why his right arm is so muscular. It's not because he does anything else with it. It's the cranking of the modem.
It really is. Okay, let's have a look here. So we got I got an email from Ron.
Good old Ron.
Yeah, Ron.
Boy. The Ron.
If you're listening and you're from Twitter, please close your ears. Subject is drug cheating cunts all-star team. Says, "G'day, freaky boy. How's this for a list of a bunch of cunts caught on the gear over the years?" Oh man, man, are we get in trouble for saying this?
No, Ron said it.
That's right. Ron did say it. Ron,
we're absolved from this. We've not been involved in this whatsoever. What's his list?
Okay, so I guess some of them have been. There's only a couple there that I would say I'm not 100% certain of.
Okay.
So there's quite a few Newcastle players, as you can imagine. There's definitely a Sharks player in there. Well, actually, there's two of them. One is one of them you probably know. He's very, very quick. You just got to ask him. And the other one is just like, we know who he is. Then there's Rodney Howe. I'll say his name. Then we've got one that was caught with somebody had fucking slipped pills into his pants, man. It happens in a nightclub in fucking England. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that...
Was he the same one caught snoozing at an airport or something?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Comes up with great ideas all the time.
Yeah. Then there was another Newcastle player who's trying to make a comeback. Good luck.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, suspension, did he not?
Oh, yeah, he did. He got 4 years.
Yeah. So he can be named.
Then there was another dude whose hair turned grey when he was like 30. And then it stopped turning grey and he found some form and we kind of found out why. There was another one who, let's just say a winger who got some white line fever at one point.
Oh, yes. Was that playing rugby union?
It might have been.
Yeah.
What else can we say here?
There was a Knights winger who used to talk to his legs.
No, he's not there.
Really?
Yeah, instead of him, it was a guy that was basically thrown completely under the bus because he told the truth about what was going on around him. Do you remember him?
Was he taken because he had a dodgy shoulder or something?
I can't remember what was wrong with him.
Did he make a return recently at another club?
At another club, yeah, a very good club, yeah.
Yeah, I remember him.
What else have we got here? There's a fucking blast from the past name here that I don't know about that one.
South player?
I feel like he was a Warriors player. Let me have a look.
Okay.
Sid. Oh shit.
That narrows it down.
Oh shit. Let me have a look at what this says. No, there's nothing here about him fucking doing anything.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. So yeah.
Oh,
well. Okay, so let me see if there's any other emails just that I've got here. Okay, we did that one the other day. Turned it into a 3-hour-long podcast. So let's go to the website ones. What the fuck? Oh, feedback I need to go to. Feedback. Okay, so here's one from Newy Ash. And he says, would the Mad Quackers consider a trade?
Oh, hello.
Taumalolo and Kickow for all the pizza your team can eat in 1 hour, plus 10 Rolex watches, so you fine gentlemen can sport 5 each at your post-match press conferences. Think of the wow factor.
I'm just thinking of this person is playing straight to my ego here. That makes it hard.
Yeah, they've. This is more towards you because, like, I don't mind the watch thing, but you're a hard watch person. You got 5 of the fucking things
that I'm aware of.
Yeah,
I think there's another one in a drawer somewhere. Yeah. See, the only thing about Rolex is I feel that their image and their value has been tainted now that Annesley has one.
Yeah, that's a good point. What you want is a bunch of those fucking Cartier watches that the head of Australia Post gave away to a bunch of people and thought it was all cool.
Yeah, that's kind of the mark.
Yeah.
So, but the pizza depends what sort of pizza it is.
Yeah, that's the thing. It can't be Domino's because I'm feuding with Domino's.
If you're feuding with Domino's, then we're feuding with Domino's.
One in, all in.
That's right. Pizza Hut, call us.
Yeah, man. Plus the watches, though.
Is it a pepperoni pizza? If it's pepperoni pizza and Cartier watches, then deal.
Yeah, I'd find that hard to turn down.
Yeah.
It's only Taumalolo and Kickow.
Yeah.
We could replace them. They're replaceable.
Yeah, we've got replacements there.
Okay, New Ash sent us another one.
Mm-hmm.
He's very good with sending us messages and stuff. Can the Blues call up players from outside their squad, or are there quarantine issues? They look like they really missed the creativity of Wade Graham in Game 1.
I agree. I have actually watched Game 1 back a bit, so I think they did lose a bit of spark out wide. Mm-hmm. All of their attack was concentrated in the middle. They didn't really have much out wide until Cody Walker came on, and because he was playing a bit wider, they did start to look a bit more dangerous out there.
Yeah.
So I think Wade Graham would be an absolute great to have back there in the side again. It just adds a different dimension to their attack that no other team has, I guess.
Yeah.
Especially when Jake Trbojevic was absolutely just doing nothing in attack. He was just tackling all game.
Yeah, he was very pedestrian, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's just making tackles. He's just been Jake Friend.
Yeah.
but not fucking up a dummy half as much. So yeah, I don't think Wade Graham would be a bad idea, but they might be able to bring him back now that they're back in Sydney, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. I have a feeling they're in a bubble Quarantine though,
I think they needed the bubble for South Australia.
Yeah.
South Australia's got some pretty strict, quarantine controls and shit like that going on for the COVID thing.
Yeah.
I think that's probably why the bubble existed. I'm not sure that the bubble would be as strict in Sydney, given that all these players have played against one another there.
I tell you what, you'd be a brave person though to say we're going to break the bubble quarantine that's worked all year for the last 2 Origin games. I don't know.
No, I don't think they will. I think they'll stick with whatever they've got in their squad there.
Yeah.
But Wade Graham would be an absolute benefit to the side.
I agree, actually. I think they needed. I'm like you. I think Wade Graham can also give them a bit more creativity in the middle of the field too, and he's something that the halves can work off as well.
Yeah, and he's got a fucking killer short kicking game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he would have been very beneficial. There's no player like him in the game, and that's what makes him stand out. Mm-hmm. So it did surprise me he wasn't picked. But there you go.
Nui Ash has sent in another one. These
Good
are
on
all.
you, Ash.
Yeah, he's smashing us with them. It's great. Boyd Cordner, should he be forced to medically retire? Didn't his cousin die after suffering a seizure from a head knock in a first-grade footy game? It was actually in a lower-grade game. He's been a great servant and warrior, but maybe it's time to quit while he's ahead/alive. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing you got to weigh up, hey?
Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, as we've discussed it earlier, obviously, but I think that it'd probably be different if he was at the very start of his career.
Yeah.
He is 28 going on 29 at the moment.
So he's not
exactly old.
He's a hard rugby league 29 though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely he is. He's and the head knocks probably haven't helped.
True. That's true.
Yeah.
Do you force him to medically retire? I tell you what, I'd be really close.
I'd be suggesting it to him in the strongest possible circumstances, though, mate. You really do need to think about a medical retirement. I'd say, why don't you go and have a chat with Dr. Alan Pearce?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Talk to him about how you're feeling after your head knocks, about the fact that you're suffering a bit more frequently. Have a frank discussion with him. Don't hold anything back, and see what he has to say.
Yeah, I know that there's sometimes when players are pushed into retirement, like, we talked about it a bit with Cameron Smith. It's like he's playing good footy, you're retired for a long, long time, and play as long as you possibly can. Get the money while you can, enjoy it while you can. But then there's a situation like this where it's like, the risks involved are so high and the effects for the rest of your life, especially when you've achieved so much in your career. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'd be suggesting to him that he should consider retiring. If not retiring, take a year off. You've got time on your side. Take a year off and see if that helps. Settle yourself down a bit and get your brain sorted. Maybe the time off, you find that there's something out there that you do want to do other than play footy.
Yeah.
And if you don't find that, then you might be able to come back and be perfectly fine to play for another 5 years. Like the year off might actually help. Who knows?
That's a good point, actually.
As I said, he turned 28 in June this year, so it's not like he's old.
No.
And as John says, mate, you're not doing shit until you turn 30 anyway, so you might as well just fast track that and don't ruin your body till you get there.
I wonder how he would physically cope with having a year off. Obviously, he's going to stay fit. He's not going to get the contact and stuff like that, which is you can't replicate a game situation. But I wonder how he would physically come back. Whether he would need, a good off season. He's probably going to need more than that. He's probably going to need a good half a season of footy to get back into it. That's a really good suggestion. I reckon that's the way to go, maybe.
That could be. I mean, if he wants to play something to get a little bit of body contact, but it's not going to be too hard, he could probably play a bit of club rugby for a while.
Yeah, play international rugby union, yeah.
No, I'll say club rugby. You line up with Gordon or someone. You just get cuddled by people out there in northern Sydney.
Or he could just play every game against the Sharks and only run at Aaron Woods.
Sean Johnson.
Yeah.
They'll be side by side. That's
Like,
that's an idea.
just, well, fucking, this is so comfortable.
It is. It's like a cuddle from a pillow. I love it.
Yeah, it'd be great. So that's all of our emails that I can see here. I cannot see any more.
Well, thanks for that, Neil Yash.
Yeah.
That was very, very good. You managed to help us churn out a few extra minutes in the podcast.
Yeah, that was fantastic. We love messages that come through the website, fergonthefreak.com. They're always fantastic to read. And, we read out every message we actually get through the website because I think there's been something dodgy going on with my email. I think sometimes people are sending emails that I'm not getting, unfortunately.
Might have been something to do with when I gave you that email address away a while ago in a deleted episode.
In the deleted episode?
That was a while ago.
I can't remember what you're talking about.
Oh, something about China.
Fuck you. Yeah, that's right. Oh, God, that was funny.
Sorry, we're not big on in-jokes, but that was just a little one there.
Yeah.
No, that's pretty much it, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. I think we've done well with this episode.
We have indeed. Been a big week for the podcast.
It has. We've had so many numbers. We've had a lot of pretty cool episodes.
Got a few guests on.
Yeah, guests, all sorts of stuff. It's been brilliant. So, and we've had a lot of new followers on the podcasting Twitter account, which has been cool. So I would guess that we've got some new listeners too.
Yeah, it's going great, gun. So thanks everyone for tuning in and listening to us. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at FergoFreakPod. We're on LinkedIn. Surprise, surprise. Facebook, YouTube. So check us out on all of those. As Freaky said, he's already mentioned the website. Now you can get in touch with us there. Also, if you want to support one of the longest running independent rugby league content creators out there, you go to patreon.com/leaguefreak and you can make a donation there. And if you make a sizable monthly donation, you'll also be able to get some merch after a few months.
Yeah, you can get a mug, you can get a t-shirt. The other one is a sticker. You just pick what's good for you and go for it. And if you're on there for 3 months, boom, you get it. You can wear a League Freak logo on your chest or on your mug. How would you like that sitting there in the office? Someone says, "What's that on your mug?" You say, "Oh, it's this guy that's been banned off of Twitter because he said cunt twice in one tweet."
Yeah, and your boss says, "You're not allowed to use that language in the office." And you go, cunt.
Yeah, and that's when you spit your coffee out.
Yeah, at him.
Yeah.
That's all right.
It's all right. My guess is anybody that's drinking out of the League Freak mug, they're the boss anyway.
Well, that'd be true.
Yeah. I feel like
plebs would be drinking out of that thing.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like the boss is like, he's drinking out the mug and his secretary walks in, or her secretary, equal opportunity. I'm going to say her secretary walks in. He says, "Oh, what's that mug?" And it's a League Freak mug. Yeah. Go and type that up for me, toots.
Yeah, go wash it and fill it with more coffee.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. You know what? If there are people out there that want to get involved in the digitisation of rugby league history, they need to go to patreon.com/RL project. If you go there and you start to contribute, my good friend Andrew Ferguson can continue building this wealth of knowledge that he's been building over the years. We all use Rugby League Project. Every single one of us. There's no one that's listening that hasn't used it at some point. And so contribute to it with money, with contributions. It really does have a direct impact on how much work Andrew can do on the website, and it just adds value to the game's history online, and it's good for all of us. So go there and do that.
Yeah, we're using it to pretty much buy resources. Buying new servers, new domains, upgrading databases, because, man, we have to a lot.
Yeah. Biggest rugby league site in the world.
It kind of feels like it at times. We don't even have pictures on there.
I'm certain of it. I'm fucking certain of it.
The number of calculations, the number of web pages on there.
Mm-hmm.
There's 30-odd thousand players, 20-odd thousand games, at least. You know, thousands of venues, thousands of referees, or hundreds of referees anyway. Coaches, they're just all that sort of stuff. And we've decided to go and put all of the NRLW games in there. They're all in there now from 2018 till now, including the grand finals, all the team lineups, all the players, even all the referees. We're not stopping there. We're going to put all the women's state games and international games in there. Hopefully we can get the women's Super League games in there, because at least they run their game properly over there and not by the dickheads who run the Super League. You know, they know what they're doing, the women over there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a common theme, actually, in rugby league history, is that the women know how to run their game better than the men do.
Yeah, at some point, they run it too well in some circumstances.
Yeah. And the men with all the power get all scared and fuck it up for everyone.
We'll do that episode. We got that episode ready to rock.
Yeah, we do. So, everything does help, and you can make a donation from as little as just $1 a month, so you don't have to break the bank to help us out there.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's really fantastic what you've done. So cool that to be a fan of the website, and now we're doing a podcast together. How cool is that?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. I suppose that wraps this one up, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'd like to thank our sponsors.
Yes.
Manscaped.com. Let's put in manscaped.com, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's all do this together.
Okay,
manscaped.com. So, the Lawnmower 3.0. That's like the Cadillac of ball shaving equipment. But you'll go to the website and you'll see the perfect package. It's available right now, and it says the right tools for the job. A precision trim. Proper grooming requires precision engineered tools. Not only does a man's sensitive areas require it, but hygiene demands it. What they're talking about is shaving off your pubic hair. Okay? Now, the Lawnmower 3.0, it's such a good bit of kit. And it charges up. It's got so much charge when it's charged up. It's got a diamond textured non-slip grip, an LED light, and a compact design to help you navigate all your nooks and crannies, wet or dry. How about that?
It's pretty brilliant. I mean, it's got powered by USB chargers, Li-ion batteries for up to 90 minutes of use, 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology.
There's nothing better than quiet stroke technology.
I was going to say, who doesn't like a quiet stroke?
Oh, I love quiet stroking.
It's got ceramic blades.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't nick your nugs?
No. You got to have them ceramic blades because, like, they stay sharp.
You know what else they've got there?
What?
The Weed Whacker.
Yes. Now, okay, so this is the thing that they brought out, the Weed Whacker. We talked about this a little bit. This is their new thing that they've added to the lineup. It's basically to get all them nasal hairs and the ear hair and stuff like that if you got a problem with that sort of thing. And because it's their Manscaped technology that they're using, it's like a rotary dual-edged blade with skin-safe technology. And by the way, skin-safe is trademarked. That's their thing. Brilliant.
And that thing goes at 9,000 RPM, by the way, too.
Yeah, like just imagine 9,000 RPM. Your nose hairs, it's not standing up to that. It's going.
Oh, yeah.
Like you'll be able to go everywhere with confidence knowing if someone wants to look up your nose, you're good.
Well, it'll definitely make those COVID tests a lot easier to do if you don't have all that hair in the way.
It really will. They'll be able to shove that thing right into your brain.
Yeah, they won't need to sit there and they won't need to tap it in with a hammer anymore.
Exactly.
It'll just slip straight in.
It's got a long life battery that has 90 minutes of use when it's fully charged, which, like, you think about that. If you've got 90 minutes of use that you're going to do with your nose and your ear hairs, you might have a medical problem. All right, that thing's going to last you probably 2 years or something, and it's designed for comfort. It's also waterproof. Like, what more can you want?
Exactly. And you know what?
Mm-hmm.
They've now got a new package called the Performance Package.
Oh, really?
That's got everything that the previous one had, but it also has the Weed Whacker.
Wow, they've got some good deals on here.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. Yeah, get the Performance Package.
And it's only $20 more than the Perfect Package 3.0.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're getting the Weed Whacker for $20.
Yeah, I like that. I like that one. We should get in touch with Manscaped and say, hey, let's have a look at the Weed Whacker.
Exactly.
See, I don't have too much of a problem with nose hair.
No, likewise. But, you know, we could find someone who does and just use it on them.
Yeah, we need to. What's John Howard up to?
That's true. Looks like he's got potatoes growing out of him everywhere.
Don't know, right?
You know, so they've got a luxury nail kit as well.
Oh, really? I've not seen the luxury nail kit. Where's the luxury nail kit?
2.0. Nail clippers, tweezers, a file, some scissors.
See, my nails, I bite my nails a little bit too much, eh?
This is probably something I'd use instead of using a pocket knife all the time for this.
Yeah, instead of cutting parts off your body while we're doing podcasts, why don't you get the shears?
Yeah, I probably should get around to that.
How about that? So you get the shears, right? That's a nice little kit. I like the leather pouch it comes with. $14.99. You put in the code NRL, boom, 20% off and free shipping.
Absolutely.
That's pretty good value.
It's phenomenal value.
I might get myself one of them, eh?
Yeah. That's something I should probably do.
Yeah, I like that one.
What am I going to do with my pocket knife then?
I don't know. Have you got something you can cut off your feet during the podcast? I'm not sure.
Only toes.
Yeah.
How many toes do you need?
I know you need your big toe, and outside of that, it's all just superfluous.
Okay. I suppose I can cut my toes off.
Okay.
All right. This is taking a while.
How have we turned? Our advertising with the great people at Manscaped into some sort of freaking horror show where you cut your toes off?
It's okay. We could give them away for charity.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, there might be kids out there that don't have toes. Like into my well-groomed toes.
I wonder how many rugby league players have had to lose a toe to continue their career.
Pretty much every single one that was a goal kicker prior to 1998.
Probably. Have you ever seen some of the basketball players' toes?
No.
They've got some mangled feet. Some of the basketball players' toes from the NBA, their feet look like Ian Healy's hands.
I was going to say, do they look like Ian Healy's fingers? Like, I reckon the worst thing ever to ever try and do coordination-wise is for Ian Healy to pick his nose when he's drunk.
He'd poke his eye out.
He would.
Never ask for directions off Ian Healy.
No, you will not go where you need to go. You just head down there. Which way is that? Oh, boy.
So, yeah, go to manscaped.com and put in code NRL.
Manscaped.
We love you, Manscaped.
Yeah. And we know that you love us.
Yeah.
And on that magnificent note, thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll catch you all next time.